Have you ever been stuck on deciding if you should invest your money in ETFs or index funds? If so, I'm gonna help you out. When I first started learning about investing 3 years ago, I couldn't tell the difference between ETFs or index funds, and I would often get them mixed up. So here's what I learned. Let's start with index funds first. Index funds are like pools of money from investors to invest in an index such as the S&P 500. For index funds, you need a brokerage that allows you to invest in index funds. An example is Vanguard, which was the first brokerage that made index funds, and it was made in 1976 by Jack Bogle. What makes index funds different from ETFs is that there is a minimum required, and it could be from like $1,000 to $10,000, which can make it less accessible for people with small accounts like me. Another thing is that it can only be traded once at the beginning or the end of the day, so it might be a little harder to get out and a little less liquid. Also, for index funds, you get taxed even if you don't sell your part. So this means that you can get taxed from another investor selling their shares, which can be a downside. Now let's talk about ETFs, which stands for Exchange Traded Funds. So ETFs weren't made until after index funds in 1993, but similar to index funds, they invest and track indexes and sectors like the S&P 500. So let me answer the real question here. Index funds or ETFs? In my opinion, I think that ETFs are like an upgraded version of index funds. And the reason why I think this is because it's much more accessible because you can trade it in any brokerage that allows you to trade stocks. Another reason is the minimums are lower, so it's more accessible to people with smaller accounts. And it can be traded during normal market hours, which makes it more liquid. But honestly, it's up to you now that you know a little bit more about each one. So don't let my opinion affect what you want to do.